It is better to cry for a season while single than to cry for years inside the wrong marriage. Let's tell the truth nobody likes to say out loud. Don't marry for beauty. Don't marry because time is going. And never build forever on a foundation that already shows cracks. Because forever is heavy, and weak structures collapse under weight. Are you choosing love, or are you escaping loneliness? Because marriage will not fix your emptiness, it will expose it. A ring does not guarantee peace. A wedding does not guarantee wisdom, and beauty does not guarantee character. Some people are not single because no one wants them. They are single because they refuse to mortgage their future on a weak foundation. And tonight, we're going to talk about why that courage matters. Ada was 32 when the whispers became louder than the music at family gatherings. Time is going, don't overthink it. Men don't like women who are too strong. You can adjust later. Adjust later. As if marriage was a shoe you break into after it starts hurting. Her friends were getting engaged, bridal showers every month, matching asoebi, perfect captions about my answered prayer. And Ada started questioning herself. Maybe I'm too selective. Maybe I should just try harder. Maybe love grows after marriage. That's how pressure works. It doesn't shout, it slowly erodes your standards. But here's the truth. Pressure is not guidance. It is noise. Tunde was everything on paper. Tall, well-spoken, good job, clean shoes, good family. Let's be honest, he was fine. And that's where many people get trapped. Don't marry for beauty. Beauty is a surface phenomenon. Biology explains it clearly. Physical attraction is powerful, but it fades in familiarity. What remains after the dopamine rush settles is character. Tunde was charming outside, but in private, he mocked her ambition, he checked her phone, he called her too much. He joked about how marriage would humble her. He didn't hit her. He didn't cheat. He just shrank her. And shrinking is violence done slowly. Everybody said she was lucky. Nobody asked if she was peaceful. There's a difference. The foundation test. Marriage is not a wedding day. It is a structure, and structures obey physics, not emotions. If you build on sand, it may look stable at first. But weight reveals weakness. Stress reveals cracks. Don't mortgage your future by marrying on a weak foundation. Foundation means, how do they handle anger? How do they handle money? How do they handle disagreement? How do they treat people who cannot benefit them? Those things matter more than dimples. Ada began to imagine 10 years ahead, a child watching tension at the dinner table, her dreams postponed for peace. Her voice reduced to negotiation. She asked herself one question. If nothing about him changes, can I live with this forever? The answer terrified her. Those things matter more than dimples, more than height, more than he makes me laugh. Charm is perfume. Character is bone structure. Ada began to imagine 10 years ahead. Not the honeymoon pictures, not the coordinated outfits, 10 ordinary years, a child watching tension at the dinner table. Silence thick enough to chew. Her dreams postponed for peace. Her voice reduced to negotiation. Her laughter measured so it would not trigger ego. The quiet editing of herself. That vision unsettled her. Because love can be real and still be wrong. She asked herself one question. If nothing about him changes, can I live with this forever? Not will he change, not can I fix this, not maybe marriage will mature him. If nothing changes, can I live here? The answer terrified her, because deep down, she already knew. The late apologies, the casual disrespect disguised as jokes. The financial recklessness explained away as ambition. The pattern of deflection, the way her intuition kept tapping her shoulder like, sis, pay attention. Hope can be holy, but denial is expensive. A weak foundation does not collapse on day one. It collapses under accumulated weight. A child's school fees, a job loss, a sick parent, miscommunication after a long day, exhaustion, unmet expectations. Life is heavy. Marriage must be stronger than feelings. Feelings fluctuate, foundation endures. Choosing wisely is not pride, it is stewardship. Your future children deserve emotional stability. You deserve peace in your own house, not survival, not management, peace. It takes courage to walk away from potential. It takes maturity to value character over chemistry. It takes vision to prize your future and choose right. Ada realized something uncomfortable. Being single is not the worst outcome. Being stuck in a structure that slowly shrinks you is. She was not afraid of loneliness. She was afraid of losing herself. And that fear, because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is refuse to build where the soil is unstable. Sometimes love says, wait. Sometimes wisdom's walk. And sometimes the most romantic decision you will ever make is choosing a foundation that can survive the storm. The wedding lasts a day. The structure must last a lifetime. Build accordingly. The courage to walk away. Walking away wasn't glamorous. No violins in the background, no crowd clapping, no you go girl moment, just silence. The kind of silence that echoes when everyone expected you to say yes. When the ring was ready. When the families had already started planning. When society had already drafted your wedding hashtag without your permission. People called her proud, too picky, too educated, too strong. Who does she think she is? But let's tell the truth. It takes more ego to stay where you don't belong than to leave with your dignity. Ada saw the signs, not red flags that were dramatic and loud. No, subtle ones. The quiet disrespect, the jokes that cut too deep. The way he handled anger like a child with matches. The way conversations about money turned into power struggles. The way apologies were rare but excuses were abundant. Nothing criminal, nothing viral, just enough to mortgage her peace. And here's the part people don't say out loud. Regret from waiting is lighter than regret from rushing. Waiting may sting. It may feel awkward at family gatherings. It may make you the topic of whispered conversations. But rushing can cost you years. Rushing can cost you identity. Rushing can cost you the version of yourself you worked so hard to build. There are married people praying quietly for the courage single people still have. That's not disrespect, it's reality. Loneliness inside marriage hits differently, because now you are alone with a witness. Alone, but someone is sleeping beside you. Alone, but someone carries your last name. Alone, but leaving now is 10 times more complicated. Temporary loneliness is uncomfortable. Permanent compromise is suffocating. Ada chose discomfort over destruction. She chose silence over chaos. She chose to disappoint people instead of disappointing herself. That is not pride, that is wisdom. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes strength looks like deleting a number, returning a ring, canceling a date, saying, I deserve alignment, not adjustment. And let's be clear about something. Marriage is not a rescue mission. It is not an escape from boredom. It is not a reward for endurance. It is a covenant, a structure, a daily decision. And structures obey physics, not emotions. If the foundation is cracked, love alone cannot hold it up forever. Ada understood something powerful. Being chosen is nice. Choosing wisely is better. So she walked away. Not because she was perfect, not because she had options lined up, but because she prized her future more than her present pressure. That is courage. And courage rarely looks cute in the moment. But years later, it looks like peace. It looks like self-respect. It looks like a life not built on apology. Walking away is not failure. Sometimes it is the bravest investment you will ever make. Temporary loneliness can heal. Permanent compromise? That one scars. And scars inside marriage are harder to explain. So if you are standing at that edge, heart shaking, reputation on the line, future unclear, remember this. Silence today is better than suffocation tomorrow. Choosing right is not pride. It is protection. And protection of your future is never weakness. The peace of singleness. The months after were quiet. No wedding hashtags, no Asoebi group chats, no bridal fit-ins, no when is the date. Just stillness. And in that stillness, something unexpected happened. She slept peacefully, not the kind of sleep that comes from exhaustion, the kind that comes from alignment. No overthinking, no decoding mixed signals, no shrinking herself to keep a relationship alive. Her pillow was not soaked with confusion, her heart was not negotiating with red flags. She worked boldly, because her focus wasn't split between building a future and managing a fragile relationship. Her energy returned to her. And when a woman gets her energy back, she builds, She learns, she multiplies, she grows in places she didn't even know were dormant. She laughed freely. There is a different sound to laughter when it is not filtered, when you're not worried about being too much, when no one is subtly correcting your tone. Your dreams, your ambition, your personality. She rediscovered her voice. Not the polite version, not the agreeable version, the real one. Singleness gave her clarity. Clarity is underrated. People chase chemistry. They chase vibes. They chase butterflies. But clarity, that is what saves you from regret. She began to remember who she was before someone started managing her personality. Because sometimes that's what happens. It's subtle, it's small. Maybe don't post that. Maybe tone it down. Maybe you're too independent. Maybe you should be softer. And before you know it, you're editing yourself to fit someone who hasn't even proven they deserve full access. Singleness removed the editor. And here's the truth people miss. Singleness is not a waiting room. It is not a lobby where life is on pause until marriage calls your name. It is a preparation ground. Preparation is not punishment. It is power. Singleness teaches emotional independence. That means you can self-soothe. You can regulate your feelings. To see beyond charm. To detect inconsistency. To recognize character over charisma. That skill alone can save you years of heartbreak. It reveals your non-negotiables, not the cute preferences, not tall, dark, handsome, the real ones. How do they handle anger? How do they treat people who can't benefit them? How do they handle money? Do they respect boundaries? Structures obey physics, not emotions. If the foundation is weak, pressure will expose it. Marriage is not magic. It magnifies what is already there. When you prize your future, you stop accepting what threatens it. You stop rushing because of age. You stop settling because of loneliness. You stop competing because of social media timelines. You understand that temporary loneliness is lighter than permanent compromise. That's not pride, that's wisdom. Peace is a signal. If your singleness is producing growth, clarity, discipline, vision, you are not behind. You are being built. The world will try to convince you that a ring is proof of arrival. But character is the real milestone. Stability is the real flex. A settled spirit is the real glow up. Singleness is not empty space. And when you guard it well, when you use it well, when you refuse to mortgage your future on a weak foundation, you step into love one day, not desperate, not confused, not pressured, but prepared. And prepared people choose differently. That changes everything.
The wedding revelation. Ada attended another wedding. Same music, same asoevi colors, same laughter floating in the air like perfume. The hall was glowing.
Phones were up. Everyone posting captions about God when and next in line. She sat quietly. Then she saw something, not the dress, not the decor, not the choreography. She saw the groom look at his bride. And it wasn't ownership. It wasn't insecurity disguised as affection. It wasn't that tight, watchful stare of a man guarding territory. It was peace, secure. That's the word. He looked like a man who knew who he was, and because he knew who he wasn't threatened by who she was. It's built in private. It's tested in disagreement. It's proven over time. Ada didn't feel envy. That surprised her. Months ago, she would have compared. She would have wondered if she had waited too long, if she had been too strong, too opinionated, too much. But watching them, she felt something else. Alignment. Her spirit whispered, "This is what you were protecting yourself for." She realized something powerful that day. She was never waiting for a wedding. She was waiting for a foundation. Because weddings are events. Marriage is architecture. And architecture obeys laws, not vibes. You can decorate cracks with flowers. You can dim the lights and play good music. But when storms come, and they will come, physics wins. She remembered the tension she escaped. The subtle control disguised as love. The insecurity that tried to shrink her voice. That could have been her wedding. Beautiful picture. Weak structure. And forever is too long to gamble on potential. Too long to hope someone matures after vows. Too long to pray character appears where it was never cultivated. Too long to ignore red flags because the venue is booked. Watching that groom, she understood something deeper. Security is attractive. Emotional maturity is romantic. Peace is intoxicating. Not butterflies, not pressure, not fear of missing out. Peace. That wedding didn't make her anxious, it made her patient. Because now she had proof. Healthy love exists. Secure men exist. Foundations can be solid. And when you see the real thing, you stop settling for counterfeits. Ada left that wedding lighter than she arrived, not because she caught the bouquet, but because she caught a revelation. She wasn't behind, she wasn't delayed, she was discerning. And discernment, that saves decades. Forever is beautiful, but forever is also long. Too long to gamble, too sacred to rush, too weighty to build on sand. And sometimes the greatest blessing at a wedding isn't the flowers or the vows, it's the clarity. Marriage is not an achievement badge. It is a lifelong decision that will either water your peace or drain your soul. Choose the one who strengthens your foundation, not the one who simply looks good standing on it. And until that person comes, stay whole, stay wise, stay patient, because better single and peaceful than married and disappearing. Now, that's the truth. Let's talk about what happens when you don't ignore the flags, because not everyone leaves when the red flags wave. Some people call them decorations. Let me tell you about Rose. The wedding everyone celebrated, Rose married for beauty, not just physical beauty, although yes, George was handsome, clean beard, bright smile, the kind of man photographers love. But she also married the beauty of potential. He will change. He just needs a good woman. Marriage will mature him. There's a quiet arrogance in that belief. The idea that love is a rehabilitation center. The foundation was already whispering warnings. He dismissed her opinions. He avoided difficult conversations. He hated accountability. He loved admiration. But the wedding was beautiful. And here's the thing nobody says enough. A beautiful wedding can hide an unstable marriage. The day was loud. The music was strong. The vows were emotional. But foundations don't care about vibes. The weight of forever. The first year was manageable. Small arguments, silent treatments, subtle control. Nothing explosive, just erosion. That's how weak foundations work. They don't collapse immediately. They crack quietly. George didn't hit her. He didn't cheat. He just minimized her, compared her, corrected her tone, questioned her decisions, made her feel slightly wrong all the time, and over time becomes the unsure. Marriage magnifies what already exists. His insecurity deepened, his pride thickened. His refusal to grow hardened. Rose started shrinking to keep peace, and peace bought with self-erasure is not peace, it's surrender. Loneliness inside marriage feels different, because now you're not alone physically, you're alone emotionally. You wake up beside someone and still feel unseen. That kind of loneliness hits harder than an empty bed ever could. She remembered the season she was single. She remembered the quiet apartment. She remembered the peace. And for the first time, she understood what she gave up. Don't mortgage your future by marrying on a weak foundation, because leaving after vows is harder than walking away before them. The moment of clarity. One evening, after another argument about something small, dishes, tone, respect, Aoife sat alone and asked herself the question she avoided years ago. If nothing changes, can I live like this forever? That question is powerful. It cuts through romance, it slices through denial. And she realized something brutal. She didn't marry evil. She married unprepared. And unprepared can be just as damaging. Character is not built by a wedding ceremony. It is revealed by pressure. The lesson. This is not a story about divorce. It's a story about discernment. Some marriages can heal with humility and growth. Some cannot survive without it. But the lesson remains the same. Don't marry for beauty. Don't marry for potential. Don't marry because you're afraid of being the last one single. High's your future. Your peace is expensive. Your purpose is sacred. Your voice matters. Choose someone who strengthens your foundation, not someone who simply stands on it looking impressive. If you're single right now, you are not behind. You are not late. You are not less. And position is powerful when you use it wisely. Better to wait and build something solid than rush and spend years repairing cracks. Because forever is heavy, and only strong foundations survive weight. The goal is not just to marry. The goal is to build something that can withstand gravity. And gravity always shows up. Your voice matters. If you cannot speak freely before marriage, you will whisper inside it. And silence inside marriage is not submission, it is slow suffocation. The right marriage doesn't shrink you, it strengthens you. And that is worth waiting for. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Victoria's Dream TV.